Have you ever asked yourself, which test type should I be running to be the most effective in user testing? Well, some of you are probably going, what do you mean, what test type should I run? I run usability tests. I run user tests in user testing. Well, there are actually 4 different types of tests that you can run in user testing depending on what your needs are. And I'm going to go through them right now. So the first one is the basic think out loud video-driven study that many of you would refer to as a user test or a usability test perhaps. These are small sample size studies that you would run when the emotion, the feeling, what people think is the most important. You find that here under the Create a Test button, Unmoderated Test, and then you choose Think Out Loud Study from underneath that. What do you get with your Think Out Loud study? You get first your video playback. Very rich sentiment analysis all down alongside your transcript and in your time code, along with your tasks that you set on these white little dots here. Now, look at this. Pain point, dislike, like, confusion, price issue, like, price, pain point, price. So very, very easy to simply filter what you want, what you're looking for, make clips, and share those clips with any other stakeholders. But you also get very rich visual output in the form of metrics on the metrics tab. This is the interactive path flow, which shows you how people moved through a particular task or experience that you gave them and how they felt about it along the way. You can just click on a particular page, you'll see what page it was, all the people who made comments, and if those comments were positive or negative. Then you have the unmoderated interaction test. This is also an unmoderated experience, but it is going to be a larger sample size than you do for your Think Out Loud unmoderated study. Those tests are usually 10, 15, 20 people, but with an interaction test, you could be talking about 50 or even 100 or more people. This is when you want something more statistically significant to validate your findings from maybe a smaller scale quantitative study. So if you want to see, yes, people brought this up in a quantitative study, now I need to quantify it, see if it's truly an issue, then you can run that unmoderated interaction test. So what do you get when you run an interaction test? One of the biggest things you can get is the quality of experience score, the QX score, which actually shows you the combination of people's ability to complete tasks here, 76%, 12%, and how they felt about those tasks after they were done. So it's a combination of behavioral and attitudinal feedback. So you have that. You have lots of other survey style questions that you can ask, like things like how difficult did you find it, how confident are you, etc. You've got down here even the beautiful Net Promoter Score is here. All this is there. In addition to that QX score, here you can see more significant success rate and metrics for particular tasks you had people do in this additional larger sample size usability test. You can see here success rate, steps, clicks, time on task. This happened to be a Figma prototype. You can see over here the Figma task, and you can click right on these and see, hey, what was the heat map? Where did people click when they were doing my task? So rich data in a different way for quantitative interaction tests. Another type of quantitative study is a survey. Now, a lot of times we don't think of a survey as a study, but it is a test type inside of user testing. And a survey is a large-scale quantitative questionnaire where people can fill out answers to questions. They can also go and look at assets like a website or a prototype or an image or a video and give feedback on that in survey form. Now, surveys are going to be even larger sample sizes typically than your interaction tests, where we're talking about maybe in the thousands of respondents, and all with that same speed and reliability that you love from user testing. So what do you get with a survey? With the survey, you get all of the answers to all of your question types here, but the most important one that is unique is AI theming for written responses. With a survey, the only way to get open-ended feedback from a respondent is through a written response. And those written responses can take forever to synthesize, especially when you're talking about thousands of respondents. So user testing uses AI driven themes to summarize everything for you. You've got, here you can see that this is about car purchasing. So why do people make their last car purchase? Affordability and price, fuel economy, et cetera, et cetera. And with both the interaction test and the survey, these are large-scale sample sizes, so filtering and segmentation is much more critical. So you can do filtering and segmentation just by clicking on things inside of the platform. You can see here, show the participants or hide the participants who answered this particular way. Very, very important when you're dealing with large sample sizes. That leaves just one more test type, and that is the live conversation. That is a moderated study, and that is very similar to what you're seeing right now. If you were running a live conversation, that would be a one-on-one interview, or several to one or one to several. You can do focus groups, or you can have hidden observers watching people, much like behind a one-way mirror. But it really replicates that lab experience where you have a person doing an in-depth deep dive with an individual, looking over a website, a prototype, a card sort, or a tree test, talking them through it, and then reacting in real time to the answers so that you can truly pivot depending on where the conversation takes you. So I don't really need to show you anything for that one because it looks just like what you're looking at right now. Video, the output is video feedback with that transcript and all the summarization. The only difference is it has the speakers' names on it, so you can see who said what. Very, very easy. So that's 4 different test types with user testing, right? That's the unmoderated think out loud study. A lot of you think of it as usability test or the user test. This is small sample size typically. It's qualitative feedback. Then you have the unmoderated interaction test. This is a larger sample size. This is quantitative. It is also used in many cases for usability testing, larger scale, to validate at a statistically significant level, findings you may have found in a qualitative study. Then you have your survey, which is quantitative as well, but we're talking about an even larger sample size, questionnaires, even if assets are being viewed by the participants. And then lastly, you have your live conversation, which is a small sample size, in-depth, deep interviews with respondents. So which one is right for you? Well, depending on your needs and how deep you want to go, you just pick one of those 4 and you're going to find the answers you need, no doubt, with user testing. That's going to be it for now, but I'll be back again soon. Until then, I will see you later.